Would you rather be the size of a rabbit or an elephant?
If I had to continue doing like my everyday thing, it's probably a rabbit. But if it was like becoming an elephant changed my life, then I would just be the size of an elephant. Then like you're cool and you can be on like TV just for being huge.
How would that work though? Would that be like mass and height included, or would it just be like height of an elephant?
Like, is my body, am I going to
look
like me, and I'm just going to look like an elephant?
Legs.
Just my face on an elephant body.
I was imagining, like, you become an elephant, like the animal, but it's just the size.
Yes.
I think it's just the size.
I feel like I'd rather be a rabbit.
See, for like day-to-day, I think I would go rabbit, too.
Because you're going to have a hard time getting around as an elephant-sized human, like fitting through doorways, and you probably already know with your height.
Yeah, it does come... It becomes an issue every once in a while. But, I mean, also, like, if you're that big, the world will revolve around you. You then become the center of attention for
You want
everything.
to be the center of attention, though.
Having done it, like, in Honduras, walking down the street, you are the center of attention.
That is true.
I got very used to it, and I kind of liked it.
Everyone would get out of your way.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, 100%. Always have space. So, yeah, that's mine. What's yours? Are you still going rabbit?
I think I was going to go rabbit. I just, think it would be easier for the world to for me to fit into the world.
Yeah.
Like a rabbit, I mean, it's pretty small. I don't know, I've seen rabbits that big. It's true.
I held one today that was about
killer rabbits.
That big.
So that's I don't know, there's short people in the world, so a little shorter probably wouldn't
I feel like it's a lot shorter though.
Yeah, that's
depending on the rabbit.
That's like you becoming like a child.
Well,
toddler.
Is your height going to be here's a rabbit just on the ground, is your height going to be from its bottom of its stomach to its top of its stomach, or are you going to be from its back end to its
I think it's the back end to the front, because it's still, if you hold up a
you
rabbit,
can still
if you hold up a rabbit, it's going to be that
couple
tall.
Feet, at
You'd be barely below a midget.
Yeah. See? Whereas an elephant is way big. You're going to have a problem with clothing and housing and
driving.
Just give me a sheet. I'll be fine.
Airplanes.
If I'm that big, I won't need a car. I can just walk over that fast.
It's true. If you're a rabbit, though, riding on a plane would be great.
Oh, that's true.
No one would be crowding in on your seat. You would just fit perfectly.
You could fit in a carry-on.
You could just go with in the cat carriers.
You wouldn't need extra suitcases.
That is
true.
Trips. I'm not gonna lie. Being a bigger person, clothes are huge. Trying to pack them into stuff is annoying. Especially shoes. Shoes are just gigantic. They don't fit anywhere.
If you're an elephant, you'd basically be wearing tents.
Yeah.
Your wardrobe is like a tent.
Very true.
Tents are hard to pack too. So.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Rabbits win.
Yes.
Nah, I'm still sticking with that.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Sam's Midnight Rambling.
Welcome to episode 20.
Yeah.
Let's step that out really quick.
This is going to be a special episode. We are very excited. We have our good friend Whitney here. He's going to be our guest host. We're going to pass the mantle off to her after we introduce her. And she's got questions. She came prepared today, so...
She brought out 2 pieces of paper, and they were completely filled, and I'm very intimidated.
So we decided we're going to take a break for episode 20. Give us some good... We don't have to... Well, we might have to think more.
Probably.
So, some things to know about Whitney is that she is a master orchid grower. She is about to become Dr. Whitney.
Ooh.
And she is a self-proclaimed dating expert. She has conducted her own scientific research study with this. Maybe she can go more into that. So, yeah, she's a pro.
True. Well, I don't know if I can say I'm a pro, but informed maybe?
On the Sam
theoretically,
you can call yourself a professional.
No, I don't have to present my credentials or anything.
No. The credentials is you're here.
Yeah.
I am sad, though, that I deleted all my data from my
you did?
dating study in a fit of rage, because So I can
That's right.
try and recall the data,
Wait,
but...
do you still have your presentation, at least?
Oh, that presentation. Yes, I definitely have
Okay.
that. But I had, like, my sister and I were doing a whole, like, year-long study of mutual dates, looking at, like, how often, like the number of interactions to the, like, number of dates, like, if you got a second date, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And we had a big spreadsheet of it, and it's gone, so...
That's a lot of data.
It was, but we were both mad, and we were
I
like...
understand that side
we
of
hate
it.
this, and we deleted it, and now I wish we kept it. But it's all good. All right, do you guys want to start with dating? We have different topics, so...
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lead us.
We'll come back to dating. How's
How's
that?
it feel to close the iPad?
This is great.
So we'll start with this kind of like background on you guys and your family. So I don't know if you guys have done like the DNA or like how into family history you are, but do you know like your heritage or family origin, like where your ancestors come from?
Yep. About as wide as you can get.
Same. I'm saying.
Yeah.
I personally haven't. I think my dad has. I'm pretty sure he has. And I think we're majority from like United Kingdoms, like
Same.
England primarily. I think we have some. I know he's some like Danish blood in us,
Okay.
but
Mostly.
I think it's mostly
UK.
England. There's some like scattered in like continental Europe, but like
Yeah.
it's not that big.
I think like the majority of mine is like UK, very similar, like really specifically like Ireland. But then there's like some weird offshoots in like Switzerland, and then there's even an offshoot that goes into like Prussia.
Ooh.
I don't know anything about that part. All I know is it is a part of my family line somewhere in there.
That's pretty cool. Mine's mostly England, Ireland, and Sweden. And then I have like 5% German in there too. So.
Nice. Good mix of it all.
Question with that.
Yeah.
Do you guys know where your like last names came from?
Yeah, that's the next question.
Whoa.
Wow.
Had to lead into it somehow.
She's really trying to pull us along. She's like, I don't want to be the actual host. Let me let them get the question. I don't.
You don't?
I know
Okay.
it comes from England.
Okay.
That's all I know.
Ambler. Maybe you're gonna
English origin.
We just wandered around.
Yeah.
Ambled everywhere.
Clark comes from clerk.
Oh.
At least that's what I'm told. So my family at one point were clerks.
Interesting.
So we have the clerks and the
Sorry,
wanderers.
I'm not beeping out this one.
Yeah, I just realized that. I was like, oh shoot, but it's okay.
Secrets out. Episode 20. We make it real special. Oh, man.
Mine is English. Bowman.
Bowman? Yeah.
Are you
Mhm.
bowmakers?
We were archers.
Archers.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see you
Queen's archers.
Damn.
Oh.
My first name, I'm a big word nerd. I tell this to my students. Like, I love learning, like, the history behind words. So, like, words and names. And then my first name is also English, and it means of the White Island. So if you put it all together, I'm an archer from the White Island.
That's
wow.
sick.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's true. I was about to say, what about my first name? I was like, it's the same first name.
Yeah.
Same first name. You both have the same first names. Do you have any ancestors that you're like, this person's super cool, or know any cool stories about family? Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if they're direct ancestor, but it is an Ambler. James M. Ambler. He fought in the Civil War, and then once that was over, they signed him up to do an expedition to Alaska and like that part of it, like the Bering Strait and all that. And so he didn't want to go, but eventually got convinced. Went up there. The boat got stuck for like 500 days, and he was a doctor then, and so somehow he kept everybody alive during that time, including doing, I think it was like 30 eye surgeries on this guy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
On one guy?
On one guy.
That's
That's
crazy.
a lot of eye
Yeah,
surgery.
it was like 18 whatever. And so he, eventually the boat like broke, and so then they had to go over to this place in Russia on like the peninsula, like Kamchatka or whatever that is. And everybody started dying, and then like he was like one of the last few like alive because he was like the only one with like a journal left, and he was like, I'm gonna guard every single person here and try to keep them alive until the day I die. And like some odd years later, or some odd months later, they found all the bodies, and like he still had like semi-protected them, even though he like eventually died. Was like the last one.
Wow.
So now there's a city in Alaska named after it.
Oh.
Ambler, Alaska.
Hey.
That's cool.
I want to go there so bad.
That's that's
really
cool.
You have like gates of the Arctic, another national park, and it's like right in between all three of them. Middle of nowhere. It's gonna take a long time for me to get up there. But yeah, so
that's really cool.
Yeah, that's my favorite story.
I don't think I have anything to top that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Except for it's not like a direct one. It's like you go up and then come down a little
like
bit.
Like a cousin or
yeah,
relation.
Yeah.
Family lore has it that I'm related to Pocahontas.
Oh.
So
that's through John Smith?
Yeah. No, it's through but we have some crazy stories. I can't think of a lot on the top of my head, but one of them that my mom texted our family a little while ago is about on her side. So Pocahontas is from my dad's side, and my mom's side have some crazy like Wild West stories because they came out with like the pioneers to like Utah.
Yeah.
And so this story is about, I don't even know, a grandpa, I think. Somebody great. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Don't get mad at me, Mom, if you're listening to this. But his half brother got killed by Indians.
Whoa.
And he like got scalped and everything.
Whoa, the full blown.
Yeah, so
Snap.
That was crazy. We had another one where this like Indian chief like came riding up and like wanted to like marry one of my ancestors, but she was like, sorry, I can't. I'm already married to like, I think it was like Judge Peacock. And
some cool name.
But like she wasn't actually married, so like the Indian left, and like she like went and like told him, and he's like, well, I guess you have to like make me an honest man, so they like got married. So
dang.
The Peacock guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
That's one way to get a guy.
Honorable judge.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's crazy.
I think so. A lot of my dad's side of the family comes from the like deep south. One of my ancestors, his nickname, it's on like the family history, like it's on there. It's Toad, so it's so and so Toad.
Wow.
So yeah, he was a Confederate soldier, so you know.
Makes him a toad.
Yep. But then I have another. I think she's a great. I don't know how many greats, but great grandma, who she was in Sweden. And when her youngest sister was being born, her and her other sister had to go, like, get the doctor for their mom.
Oh.
And because they lived in this, like, little tiny cabin out in the middle of nowhere. And so she's, like, running through the woods. It's, like, the middle of the night. Her sister went one way, and she went the other way. So they did not stay together. But she ended up falling in this big hole because they would like mine this clay by the lake, and she fell in this like 8-foot hole, and she couldn't get out. She stayed there all night.
Oh my gosh.
And they thought she was dead.
Yeah, I definitely would have thought she was dead.
She was still alive.
That's impressive.
She had like a crazy life. She changed her name because it was a Swedish name, and she's like, I don't like that. So when she was baptized in the church, she's like, this is my name now. And so she just gave him Marie Elizabeth was what she thought. She's like, that's a really pretty name. So she told him that, and she just changed her name.
That's so funny.
But I'm like, she's kind of a spitfire, so.
That's crazy.
I liked her.
The spunk.
The spunky girl that fell in the pit and almost died.
Hey, once you find the pit, there's no coming back.
No coming back. All right, switching gears now. We're going to do more like entertainment / culture kind of thing.
Okay.
There's no transition in
it. Okay. Entertainment for 500.
So, if you use social media, what social media platform do you use the most?
Instagram.
Well,
I guess.
Probably
does the real count as social media?
I don't know.
I don't
It's like a
know.
gray area.
Yeah.
It's like it wants to be,
Because I
but
use that
isn't.
every day.
I feel like it's like you're being social, but it's not like, because it's just with a group, right?
Yeah, it's just with
Like
friends
Whoever
that
you
you
have.
say you
Yeah.
have.
It's like a texting on steroids almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. I think I might accept it as a
We'll
gray
count
area.
it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I use that the most then.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
Probably YouTube.
YouTube.
Just watch videos, learn stuff, learn stupid stuff.
Same. I'm definitely YouTube. Do you have like channels that you watch?
Yeah, there's a few channels I have followed. Yeah.
What's your favorite one?
Ooh,
Your favorite
gosh.
few?
There's this one, and this is gonna make me sound super nerdy, but there's a programming channel. But it's just really cool because he just like thinks of an idea. He's like, how would I simulate atmosphere in like this game engine? And then he like just shows you the process, and it's really good because he shows you like all of the mistakes he makes, and it's like wild, crazy stuff, and it just he has like the most soothing voice ever, and it's so great. He's just like, yeah, I did this, and then it turned into a spaghetti monster.
Do you listen to it as you're trying to fall asleep?
No.
Like,
I'm actually paying attention. I'm like actually trying to like understand
I
it.
guess you're a tech guy.
Yeah, so-
it is helping me also learn, but at the same time, it's just like this is like the most peaceful thing ever. Yeah, so he's up there. I think it's like Sebastian something.
coding. What does he code in? Do you know?
So he does C# and he uses the Unity game engine for like all this stuff. But yeah, I learned how text is generated and printed on a screen, so that was fun. And like the files that the actual like characters are stored in and how they're stored and how to read it. Something you never think about, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, it was cool. It was awesome.
Reminds me of like Wreck-It Ralph when they go into like the vaults and there's like
Yep.
all the little like
Everything in
and
there.
it's all connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was awesome. Yeah, he's probably my favorite. Anytime he has a new video, I'm like, I have to watch this right now.
I feel like I watch YouTube probably the most, but I feel like I just go down YouTube rabbit holes.
See, that's the other thing.
Like I kind of get like stuck on like one thing and then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm moving on.
Yeah.
Like I watched this. They were building a castle in France with like only like period time
Dang.
equipment and stuff. Like
Wow.
it was pretty crazy.
See, that's what I love. You can go from like that to like then just like a music video of something to then like a puppy video, all in the
Yeah.
same train.
Yeah, I had to turn off like the autoplay because
Yeah,
it would be
I
like
have to too.
it would drive me crazy because it's like watching like, oh, we're building a castle, and then it's like this weird random music video. I'm like, no. But
Oh man.
they're still building the castle if you care to know.
Oh,
Okay.
It's taking them years. And
I would
Oh,
imagine.
yeah. I think castles took years back then to build.
Yeah, they also get distracted with like side projects, so they build like catapults and stuff too. They're like, let's just build this
You
catapult.
always gotta build
so,
a catapult.
I mean, it's a good time, but their castle's taking forever.
They're ready for post World War III.
That's funny.
Yes. All right. These have there's no like transition between questions, so
Okay.
it's gonna be just like, woo.
That's how
We're
we
in
do
for
it
a
here.
ride.
Welcome to Ramblers.
All right. What is your favorite fashion item? So like something you wear. It doesn't have to be like clothing. Like it could be like a watch.
Ooh.
Something that you're like willing to splurge for.
Ooh. It's a hard one.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm at the stage of life to be willing to splurge for anything.
Probably a hat.
Hat.
Yeah. It's the one I have splurged the most on. And I haven't even splurged that much. It's just like, I don't need this, but I'm going to buy it simply because I want it.
Yeah. I
Just
feel like I'm at the point in life where like $20 is a splurge.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
this
exactly.
hat's $20. Oh my gosh. But do you have a pretty decent sized hat collection?
It was bigger. A lot of them got dirty and I've thrown them away. But what I want to do is I want to get a hat for every single state.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so that's what I'm working on right now. I have a Colorado, I have a Hawaii one, a should buy a Utah one.
You
sometime.
should.
Since you're here.
I haven't been looking. I don't
There's some at
care
Walmart.
about how you.
I'll get you one. I'll show them. I'll take a picture next time and like, here they are.
Here they are.
No, it's true. But yeah, because I think it'd be so cool, and then be able to like, I'd want to display it on like a giant like board and just like
That would
hang
be
them
cool.
from like each
Like
one.
a pegboard or something.
Yeah.
Are you mostly like the
Yeah.
snapback?
Yeah,
Yeah.
snapbacks. They're nice. They're good. My style.
I would say probably shirts.
Shirts.
And like my splurging is like $5 at DI.
Thrifting is great. I
Dude,
love.
No, I love thrifting, but even then, like, sometimes I'll like go in, but like I'm not like haven't been like, okay, I'm gonna buy something. I'm like, shouldn't spend money, but like I'm looking, and so a lot of times I'll like pick shirts out, try them on, and I'm like, I'm too stressed, I can't make a decision. I'm not gonna get anything, or like other times I'll go in and like get 3 shirts. I don't know. So
Yeah. The one thing I hate about thrifting is if you don't decide then, sometimes if you come back, it's not there.
Yeah.
that is true.
It's not
Good.
like Amazon. You just
It's gonna
order.
be there
It's gonna be there forever.
Yeah.
It's like, I need to buy this now, or else someone's gonna
never
get it.
gonna
But also a lot of times it's like I never knew I like wanted a shirt with, I don't know, flamingos on it or something.
Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
didn't realize until I saw it. But then like next time I come in, I'm gonna find another shirt that like I like. So
Yeah. That's a good
at least
one.
at DI,
Yeah.
there's enough turnover. I feel
We're
like
getting Goodwill now.
Yeah.
there is. I haven't been yet.
I haven't been.
I
Is it
like-
actually open yet?
I don't
It
know.
is. It opened a couple
Oh.
weeks ago, I think.
Oh.
There we go.
Interesting.
I do like Sierra, which is more of like a TJ Maxx Ross, but
Mhm.
for like more outdoorsy. It's kind of built a little more higher end.
Ooh.
But they have, I think I've only like, most of the shirts I bought in there are from like their clearance section. Because even like, I mean, the shirts aren't too bad. It's like, I don't know, $15, maybe in like 25, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, you can get the shirts for like $5 or like $10. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
this is
way
the deal.
too
That's not,
The deal.
$15 is too much. $5, I can pay $5.
Great. $5 is fantastic.
Yeah. I got into like thrifting and like bargain shopping when I was a teacher, because
Mhm.
your clothes get trashed
Oh,
like
yeah.
so much, and I had spent good money on my clothes, and so when like I'd get dry erase marker on them, I would be sad. But then if it's like I got these pants for $2,
Who
Yeah.
cares?
it's not a big deal.
That marker
great.
costs more than my pants.
Yeah, it's great. I think mine would be coats. I like a good coat.
Ooh, that's a good call.
Yeah, a good wool coat.
That's fair.
It's just like the longer coats.
Mm.
Love those.
I need to get me one of those. I've been living in cold places enough in my life. I should have like an actual real coat.
Yeah, you should have been like, for like the ski joring and like 2 hoodies.
Yeah, it was great. I was
You don't
warm.
have a coat?
I was warm. I do have a coat.
Just didn't wear
I
it.
didn't wear it.
That's
It was
like
fine.
my
The coldest part of my body was my toes.
Oh.
And my knees. I have a weird thing about my knees getting cold.
And I was like layered up. I was still
Yeah.
like barely
So many
like
layers.
warm. I
So
was
you
like,
like barely see like your nose
Dude,
poking out.
straight up, he had like this much of his face.
I was not gonna get cold. And I still got like, my toes were like frozen by the
It was
end.
100% toes. They were so bad.
I've always wanted one of those like parkas that look like you're wearing a sleeping bag.
Mm.
I feel like those would just be so warm and cozy,
I would bet.
especially here
Yeah.
where it's freezing.
Oh no, that's so true. Yeah, that's the true Coloradan way. Have a parka and then shorts.
What? No, I want like almost floor length
No.
parka, like just like waddling out there.
You want the penguin look?
Yeah, I want the penguin
okay.
look.
That's fair.
All right, what is your current Roman Empire?
Oh,
Remind me what that means.
it's
So,
like what do you think about?
What do you think
Okay,
about
all the time?
all the time? But before, do you guys think about the Roman Empire?
Heck
all the
no.
Okay.
Never.
That came out and I was like, do people really think about the Roman Empire that much?
I never think.
I
about
never
it.
do.
No.
If we're talking about like that time period, I definitely probably think more about like the Greeks than I do the Romans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that's not the time period we're talking about.
I mean, recently I feel like I thought more about the Roman Empire, but I'm just reading some, one of Rick Riordan's book series, or listening to it, which does a lot of that, so. But I'm trying to think of something I like think about a lot.
Probably school.
Yeah, school. To be honest, like jobs, just like trying to do like pros and cons, which is hard because like I know information about one job, other jobs I don't,
Yeah.
or actually like apartments, like future apartments. I like when I start interviewing at the job, I'll like start looking at apartments in the area, even though I probably won't move there. And then I'll just start imagining like, oh, that'd be fun to have that apartment, and like this is what I would do. I don't know. They're kind of lame Roman empires, I guess.
I don't really know. I go through phases on a lot of things where it's like, oh, I'm super hyper-focused on this. And then like 3 weeks later, it's like, I will never think about that thing ever again. I don't know. I don't know if I have a specific thing that I just focus on.
Comes and goes.
Yeah.
I think my current one is, I don't know why. I think it was probably one of my classes I took, is like looking at like society's obsessions. Like what as a society do we deem like acceptable to be obsessed with? Like like money. Like if people come and talk to you like about money, that's all they talk about, then
it's true.
No one's not like, you're a weirdo.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like sports too.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, people can get crazy about that.
People get crazy about sports,
totally
and it's
loud.
just like, yeah, he was not wearing a shirt and painted himself entirely blue, and
It also
that's
depends
fine.
on the sport too. See, that's
True.
what's also weird. Like you have
Yeah.
someone that's like hyper fixated on like, at least here in America, like badminton, you're gonna be like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't know. I just think about like things people are okay. Like if I went and was talking about like crochet to everybody that I knew, people would be like, she's weird. She needs help. But if I was talking about football to everybody I knew, they'd just be like, yeah, she's normal.
That is interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
That's what I think about all the time.
Well, looks like I might be jumping on that bandwagon
The
too.
stock market, you can talk about the
Dude,
stock
oh my
market.
gosh.
Real estate,
I've
gas
been thinking
prices.
about no stock market a lot this week. Oh gosh. Yeah, no, that's
I
true.
feel like I've had thoughts about that. Especially, I mean, sports, but just like payment in sports. Especially with college sports.
Yeah.
I feel like I think probably more about college sports, and just as like,
I hate NIL.
I don't know, it's great for the people who get it, but also like, it's ridiculous.
As a whole, you're a professional athlete. Why do you even need to go pro?
Honest, I've had like strong feelings against college athletes since like my first semester at BYU. I used to like be an assistant equipment manager for the basketball teams. So pretty much I was just the laundry boy. Nothing super glamorous. But just like I helped get like when they got like all their swag in to like hand it out or like check it in, and they get so much free stuff.
Yeah.
Like food, like team dinners, they like get driven around in like golf carts to their classes, and it's, I don't know, as somebody who's like a student who's like working, and I got scholarships thankfully, but also like just like a normal student, I'm just like, what puts them above me? I don't know. So
I feel like they're kind of glorified almost, and
Yeah.
like super cool talent that you have, but like I want to ride in a golf cart. I want someone to shuttle me to my classes.
College?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
No, that's so true.
I also have strong feelings about like, I don't know, the transfer portal. I don't follow a lot of sports too, like basketball or football. Like I see it and I'm like, I don't know. As a fan, I just want like teams to stay together and get better and like have the continuity.
Some consistency.
Yeah, whereas like if we're always switching, I just like they're just trying to get like more money or just like not happy with like the playing. I don't know. Yeah.
Like,
So
I very much like the old rules, where it's like you got to a place and then you had a chance for one transfer free, and then if you had another transfer, you lost a year. I love that. That worked great.
Yeah.
It allows you to build anything. But these days, it's just like, oh yeah, no. I was their superstar, so I'm gonna leave so I can make another $50 million. Okay, bye.
yeah.
Go to the highest bidder.
Yep, that's all it is.
Anyway, so sorry.
Anyways.
So maybe that's your Roman Empire.
Probably actually.
Oh, gosh. So annoying.
All right. switching gears, we talked a little bit about books. What was the last book you read, or that you're currently reading?
I can answer this.
Like a for fun book, not a textbook.
Oh, thank you. Actually, I haven't read a textbook in a while, so I'm...
Dang.
One book that I'm currently reading is in my bedroom, and actually, 1 minute, I have a picture of it. I can say I just finished for the second time The Boys in the Boat.
I love
And I talked
that
about this
book.
a couple weeks ago, but everyone should read it. It is a phenomenal book. Like, I knew nothing about rowing the first time I read it. Still don't know very much. But, like, I mean, I did, like, I run, so I'm, like, kind of an athlete.
Yeah.
So, like, I can relate to, like, how, like, hard their workouts are. But just, like, I don't know, it's so, like, the author does such a great job at, like, connecting you with, like, the boys' experiences, and it's just very, like, inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to be better because, like, they're, like, working so hard and sacrificing so much to, like, reach their goals, and I'm, like, not. Sometimes I feel
and
like...
they didn't even get driven around in golf carts.
That is true! And, I don't know, you just, like, finish reading it, and you're, like, in awe. And, like, also feel like you know the people, like, the boys, like, the main characters. So, like, when the author's telling about, like, when they died, you're just, like, feeling sad, and, like, you're wanting to meet them, but, like, you can't because they're dead. I don't know. It's, like...
It's so good.
I'd almost, like... Yeah, I don't, like, words can't describe, like, the feelings it, like, brings into you.
And the movie, I don't know if you've seen the movie.
I have, yeah.
But the movie's good, but I feel like
it
doesn't do justice to the book. I feel like you don't know the boys' stories. Like, at the end of the movie, you don't really know who's who.
Yeah.
But the book, like, you know every individual and all their struggles they went through, and it's just, like, the movie is inspiring, but the book's like that times 100.
And it, like, condenses, like, 3 years into, like, 1 year.
Yeah.
And, like, you kind of see them, like, struggling to, like, get into, like, find their swing and everything. But, like, they had so many ups and downs, which was kind of frustrating as a reader because I'm like, get your act together.
Do it.
You did it in this race. Now, why can't you do it in practice? But, like, I think that's part of, like, what makes all their victories, like, so much better is that, like, they were struggling and then they, like, found it. I don't know. It is... I cannot talk enough about it.
It's a really good book. Super good.
Have you read it, Sam?
No, I've not.
You should read it.
Are you a big reader?
No.
Do you listen to books? I don't know how
Kind
listening.
of, not really.
I will say, the first time reading it, it was a little slow.
Mm-hmm.
The author does it where he, like, introduces the characters, but then he does in, like, kind of like the present day, but then he, like, backtracks, which is kind of annoying. So you're like, present is exciting, and I don't want this, like, other stuff. Second time, it was a lot easier to, like, get through it, but it's
That's fair.
so worth it. And it, like, just gives you a snapshot of what's happening in the United States in, like, the 1930s during the Great Depression, the Dust Bowl, as well as, like, leading up to World War II, what's happening in Germany and what they're doing to, like, fool everyone and how the Olympics played into that. So it's, like, just such a bigger story. But, sorry, I'm trying to find this book I'm currently reading. Apparently it's not that great a book because I can't remember what it's called.
It hasn't made that big of an impact yet.
I got it at a bookstore. They were doing, like, a blind date with a book for, like, February.
Yeah.
So I, like, bought it based off of just, like, a description that, like, a past reader had done.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, it's called Elsewhere.
Hmm.
And it's about this, like, writer who, I don't remember the word, but it's just, like, she just has done a lot of traveling, and so she talks about, like, just different experiences that she had. Like, the first chapter is about, like, this time she was in Australia just, like, traveling around, and she got this, like, random job in this, like, resort in, like, the Australian outback, where she was, like, working for, like, room and board, pretty much. So...
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's very, like, memoir-ish.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Do you remember the last book that you...
High school? Yeah. I know. Right now I'm going through Saints, Calling Forward.
Okay.
I'm listening to that.
I'm still on volume 2, so props.
It's good. They just got President or Elder Monson just got put in, and they just finally started instituting.
As an apostle, or
yeah,
like okay,
as an apostle, and they just started instituting ward councils, so that's fun.
Oh wow.
Yeah, right. It's crazy. Yeah, it's cool. They're building up towards the priesthood.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's like a big part of it right now, so I'm excited to get to that. Yeah, it's been good. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I don't know. I have had a lot to read with school, so sometimes I don't.
No judgment.
I did just finish reading. Well, I listened to it. It was called The Rise of Wolf 8. It's about the wolves in Yellowstone.
Oh, okay.
And reintroducing them into the park, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, it goes over like the different packs. They had like 5 different packs that they brought in from Alberta.
Okay.
I think different parts of Canada, but it just talks about like wolf behavior and all that good stuff. But yeah, it was an interesting read. I feel like I have to read something like very different from what I'm doing because my brain is just burnt out. So it's like wolves, completely different than anything I've even
awesome.
thought about the last few months.
Do you guys? I don't know if Sam, maybe if you have an answer to this, but do you feel like there's like a genre of like books that you like tend to like find yourself leaning to?
I don't think I have a large enough sample to be able to say that. I don't know. I like potentially stuff that has like political drama in it. I think it's fun. Slightly. I don't know. I haven't read like anything.
No worries.
I used to be more like sci-fi fantasy. Like, especially as, like, a very little kid, like, I read every unicorn book I could get my hands on in elementary school. Like, I was obsessed. And Roald Dahl, like, Matilda, Fantastic Mr. Fox, like, I think I read almost all of his books.
Oh, wow.
Harry Potter, big Harry Potter fan.
I have read that one. I've read all of them.
Good.
Nice.
That is...
Yeah. Did it my first year
I've known some people, I'm trying to think, who haven't read it, and I was, like... Still surprised. Yeah. Because that was like a core childhood.
Yeah. Well, like, because for me, like, they were coming out when I was in elementary school. Like, I still remember I remember the days they all came out, like, going to the store and getting it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
I'm old.
I remember the drop party for number 7, because our library did, like, it was, like, in the summer, our library did, like, a big Harry Potter thing in the park. Mm-hmm. And then we got the first copy from the library, because we were tight with the librarian.
We need another series like that.
We do.
Because it's kind of sad. There isn't just, like...
Now I'm kind of more into, like, Brandon Sanderson, which I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah.
Everybody has. But his books, I feel like they're long. They're really long, and they're hard to get through, so I feel like it's not as appealing to people as, like, Harry Potter.
That's true.
Yeah, Harry Potter's a pretty easy read.
Yeah. I think I finished the last one in his, like,
the
Stormlight Archive
of
the first arc. I think it's like a 40-plus hour listen.
Oh, my God.
So, like, it's a doozy. But I feel like as I've gotten older, I've kind of diversified. Like, I read all kinds of things. Like, I like to read, like, history. I like to read biographies. I always tell people about this book, and they're like, you're a weirdo. But I read a book about rats. It was, like, this guy doing a study on the rats of New York. And just, like, looking at kind of the history in, like, rats of New York. And, like, just all about rats. Like, rats are everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, they are very adaptable. But everyone's always like, ew, you read a book about rats. It's like...
It's not in my living room.
They're not here with me reading it, but...
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'd say I'm the same. Like, it's very much like fantasy, like adventure, which is still, like, one of my favorite, just, like, easy reads, just, like, give me something to, like, tune everything out. I definitely have, like, diversified into, like, the nonfiction or, like, more of, like, the histories. Like, The Boys in the Boat, more of, like, that type of, like, narratives. And surprisingly, I'm, like, for some reason, I feel like, I don't know, most of the books recently that I've like bought to read or have read are like centered around like World War II / like or like related to that topic, which I don't know. It's just kind of an interesting observation because I wouldn't say like there isn't interest. It's just like when I go to the bookstore to like buy books, that like it's
just gravitate.
It's like one of the sections that I like to check out because I've like had good success with like books I've gotten there because it's like a used bookstore, so like books are always going in and out.
Yeah.
And honestly, and usually I'm in a rush, so I'm like I want to buy a book for one reason or the other. So I'm like trying to like hit my like favorite sections, and it's like the history section. So
that's fair.
It's called A World Undone. It's a big one. It's World War I, but it's very, very interesting. Very thorough. But also, if you don't like to read, Dan Carlin, he does a podcast called Hardcore History, where he does a lot of, I think his World War I episodes are like 8, if you put them all together, I think it's like 8 to 12 hours.
Dang.
Like, it's a lot, but it's really interesting.
Jeez.
I used to have to commute from Provo to Heber, and I would just listen to that.
How's that?
And like, I can get an episode out almost every day, so.
Yeah.
Dan Carlin, he's great, and he does a lot of different, like, things, too. Like, he did World War I, World War II, and then he did, like Celtic kind of stuff, which was really interesting because I mean, we don't really learn a lot about it, but some crazy battles, crazy times.
Oh yeah,
seriously. I have a follow-up question on your comment, Sam, about like needing another series like Harry Potter's, and I like what do you think would make that series? Because I can think of like other like young adult or like teenage writers who are like their series are pretty big, like Rick Riordan being like one of them.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like Brandon Mull's another one of like mine, but I don't know if it's like I don't know, like I don't know what that
secret sauce is.
I don't, because it all kind of, for me it's like I read them all like my childhood, kind of like all blended, but I think Harry Potter's one where we all like everyone had a connection with it
worldwide
and read it. Yeah.
I think it also would help. Maybe that
and
was
like you've done like movies that are pretty good. I feel like, and I mean they're remaking some.
I think that also helps in like how long it took to actually get the full series out.
Yeah.
Because like nowadays it just feels like people just pump stuff out like nobody's business. Because then like you had people that like started reading the series, then saw the movies, and were able to like read a book, watch a movie, read a book, watch a movie as they came out. Or you had people that watched the first movie and were like, oh, it's good, I'm going to read the book. And then they started jumping on and following the book.
And it is a fairly long series. Like 7 books is a pretty, and like once you get to book 4, books become hefty.
They become big
longer.
ones, So it's like a nice like little drip into like, here's a little piece, build up on that. Here's a movie too, build up on that. And it just like, I think that really helps explode that to the insane level it is.
And what was I going to say? I feel like the storyline's fairly like original. Cause like they started coming out like what, late 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean I'm not like haven't done a thing with like fantasy books, but I feel like that's probably the start of like the big like mainstream fantasy like type stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was.
That I know.
This shows how big of a nerd I am. I was listening to a podcast that Brandon Sanderson was on, and he's looking at doing film adaptations of his stuff. Like, he's working Mistborn. I don't know if you've read that.
I've heard about
heard of it. But he said he doesn't want to do it until they have the model down for fantasy in, like, TV. Because he says, like, all of the fantasy shows that have come out the last few years have not done well. Like, Rings of Power have not done well. Wheel of Time. Game of Thrones was big for a minute, but then everyone was just like, it crashed and burned, and he's just like, I'm not going to do it until we figure this out.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's
a good call.
Because I feel like Harry Potter, like that was like the last big like fantasy.
Really solid fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it really was. Because you went straight from that into a little bit of the Twilight era, and then you had
Twilight.
the superhero era, and that's like
Yeah.
all we've had.
Yeah.
We're still in the superhero era.
I'm so
I
tired.
honestly
never
haven't
gonna
even
end.
watched, like,
I haven't watched since like Endgame. I haven't watched like
Yeah.
There are too many. I can't.
I guess I've seen a couple. I saw, like, the new Doctor Strange.
Well, also it's the same formula every time. It's not gonna
Yeah.
change that much.
I
You might
saw
get a different person, but
They're bringing back Robert Downey Jr.
Oh,
as.
for, like, Doctor Doom.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, are we just gonna all ignore that he was Iron Man just like a little bit ago?
apparently in the comics,
He comes
he swapped bodies with Tony Stark,
Okay.
and then he killed Tony Stark as.
It's too much.
It's too much.
I think they should have just ended with Endgame.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
It
Climax.
was a great. Honestly,
It was
like, I loved Endgame. It was
so
a
good.
great final film.
Yeah.
Like, and like ending of an era.
Yeah.
Like, I understand, like, the comic. I'm not like a comic book reader, but I understand the comics books have, like, way more stories. But just like,
Let that die
you
out.
gotta, like, understand when it's good to stop.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they figured that out.
Yeah.
And that's why Harry Potter worked.
Yeah.
You had to stop. You knew it was gonna end,
Mhm.
and it made a good.
Yeah, and they haven't done a whole ton of, like, expanding the storyline.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like the canon too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if they have with others.
And now they have all like these offshoot shows too, and I'm just like, I can't
Yeah.
keep up. I don't even bother. Like,
Same.
I'm done.
It's not
Yeah.
worth it. It's not worth it.
How are we doing on time?
We are at 45 minutes.
Okay, should we do the last bit, the dating stuff?
Yeah, let's get to
and
the
it was
dating
spicy.
stuff. This is what our listeners want.
This
Yeah.
is what they want, the dating stuff.
I've been asking this stuff from like
For
day
so
one, I
long,
think.
dude.
I don't know if I have any expert advice in dating, but maybe it will come forth as
Well,
needed.
I think you're the only ones being successful at the current time.
Currently.
Currently, yes. First question. What interests have you taken up to impress someone?
Oh, snap. Ooh.
And how deep did you go into these false interests?
I learned how to embroider
Nice.
to the point that I made I did one of the Dallas Temple where my parents got married, and
Oh,
then
wow.
I gave it to them, and now it's hanging up on their wall.
Do you still embroider or?
I need to, because I want to do that also for my other sisters that got married. Give
Yeah.
them all one.
Was she impressed or it was like?
Yeah, she was impressed, but it was after she had friend zoned me, so that was a bummer.
Dang it.
It's fine. Yeah.
But
I got a new skill,
You have a new skill.
Yeah. and it turned out pretty good. I'll see if I can find a picture. I'll show you guys. We can post it on.
I don't know if I have ever done that. I'm trying to think.
That's probably good.
There was.
That's the
yeah.
only example I have.
I mean, there was like I did a. Yeah. I think the first time I played pickleball was on our first date.
Mhm.
I don't even remember the details of the date. She might have suggested. I don't know, but like.
Did you like pretend you knew pickleball, or you just like?
No.
Okay.
You guys like I have no idea.
Like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I have.
That's probably good.
It's good. Don't
That's
do
good.
it.
Yeah,
Just
don't do it.
Unless it's a skill that you're like, oh, I could actually use this later on.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I pretended to be really into Star Wars. I mean, I like Star Wars,
no.
but not to the obsessive extent that I pretended to like Star Wars. So it was when I was in Provo, and I just became known as like the Star Wars girl in the ward because this went so crazy. And like my first year teaching, that's really cool.
Yeah.
See, mine, I have nothing to show for it. I can't embroider a Star Wars scene, but I like my classroom was themed Star Wars. My first year teaching.
Oh dang.
Like that's how deep.
You went deep.
This
Dude.
went.
Yeah.
It was
That's crazy.
deep, and I dated the guy for 10 days.
No.
So, good time.
No.
Yeah, it was terrible. But out of all this, I did get the original, like, theatrical release of A New Hope.
No way.
Okay.
I have it on a flash drive. So, someone heard of my fake obsession and gave that to me.
Well, I have a real obsession. Can you send me a copy?
Yeah, for sure.
That is insane.
I'll let you make a copy.
Yeah. No, don't listen, Disney. We're not talking about it.
We're not. No.
Yeah, maybe leave that out.
Cut that part out.
She's just kidding. She didn't actually
It
go
was
that
a
deep.
joke. It was a joke. Okay, this next one, you're free to add to this, but I came up with different dating animals to describe your dating behavior.
Oh,
so,
what?
Nah.
So, the first one is a chameleon. You change to please.
Okay.
That's me. That's why I came up with that one. A wolf, you're the hunter. You see it and you stalk it and you get it. Quokka, I don't know if you know what a quokka is, but they're these cute little animals in Australia. They look almost like little teddy bears, and they'll let you take selfies with them.
Are you thinking of koala bear?
No, it's a quokka. It's like a cute rat.
Oh,
I know we talked about rats earlier, but this is
I don't think a rat can be
one.
cute.
No, these ones
what guy
are
did you
cute.
date to go into rats?
I'll show you a picture, and you'll change your mind.
Uh-huh. Oh, dude, that's the baby animals. They had a capybara there. It's so cute.
Okay, that is
He's
cute.
cute. Yeah, so chameleon, a wolf, or a quokka, you're innocent, adorable, and oblivious. But you can come up with other dating animals.
Is there one where it's just you liked me, so I'll attach onto you? 'Cause that's definitely me in the past.
Like a barnacle.
Kind
Your dating spirit animal is a barnacle.
I don't know if I'm gonna go that far,
We can come up with a better one if you
but
want.
that's the decent.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Or maybe I don't know, a dog, they feed you and then you just follow them around, they show that they like you and then you just follow them around.
Cat, stray dog.
Yeah.
It's
It's better than a barnacle.
It's true.
It is.
It's once they show
Yeah.
interest, then you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna go hunt them down.
No. Yeah, I'm probably closer to that. In the past. This time was different. This time I was the wolf.
What's the first one?
A chameleon.
Chameleon.
Changed to.
You said you're not really a chameleon, which is probably good.
Well, I haven't
I don't know.
I would say either the chameleon or the cute
The
teddy
quokka.
bear rat.
The teddy bear rat.
Honestly, I
Like
could
a
do that
mix
for you.
I don't think I've changed anything saying interests in other stuff, but I would say in dating in relationships I am more how do I want to say, I don't know, I don't want to say this is the extreme, I don't think I'm this, but almost to a pushover, not they walk all over me, but
Yeah. You're willing to give in.
yeah, I'm in compromise or something. I'm not very
You're not assertive.
yeah.
That's fair.
So I just kind of go with the flow, and they want to do something, I'm yeah, sure.
That's fair.
Jellyfish.
But I'd also say sometimes I am oblivious and just cute. Yeah, I don't know.
I feel my younger dating was probably more chameleon. Now I feel I'm more, I don't know if I'm quokka or not, but I feel I'm just I'm here, hi, I'm nice.
Yeah.
If you're interested, you're interested. If you're not, you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
I don't know. Currently, right now, I don't know what's an animal for the not dating, because I'm just
A rock.
living life,
A pet rock.
not doing anything, just I'm here.
Yeah, I feel I haven't gone on a date in 2 years.
I'm not there, I'll be there.
Because I was I'm going to take a pause. I'm just too busy with school. And that pause turned in. I was I was going to do a month, and it turned into 2 years. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll get back in there now that I'm done.
Yeah,
Yeah. We can just keep going.
Okay. Next question. What is the weirdest get to know you question you've been asked in like a dating scenario? I wonder if guys get asked as weird get to know you questions.
No.
I don't think I've ever had a weird get to know you question.
Think so.
Someone asked me once what potato I identified as a get to know you question.
Interesting.
And I was like, I don't.
Yeah, see, I don't think I've ever had it go like that. Maybe I'm.
And if they asked it, I didn't think it was like super weird. I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, that's like an interesting question. But I don't think it's been anything like that.
Yeah.
Have you ever had like weird, like comments on like online dating stuff, or do girls not really do that? Because I had a guy.
I don't do online dating, so.
Okay, like Mutual or anything.
I was on Mutual like 2 years ago. Has it been that long?
While.
And I like matched with 2 girls. One girl I took initiative and like messaged and did tried to do a pickup line. I thought it was genius, and we talked, and then like she just ghosted me.
Oof.
So
Yeah.
it was weird. And the other one, I was just like, I don't have the mental energy to respond and try to do this, so I'm just ignoring you. If she messages me, I'll message back, and nothing happens. There's none.
Nice.
I didn't do anything after, so.
Yeah, I don't know if. I guess I did end up dating a girl through Mutual, but she was in my ward, so I don't know if that really counts.
No.
Did you match and then realize she was in your ward?
No, I went over to her house to give a blessing to her roommate, saw her there, and then saw that she'd like me on Mutual, and I was like, oh, perfect.
Smart.
Yeah, so, that's good.
You guys have much more mild experience.
Honestly,
I think
that
the
is my
problem
whole
is
dating life. It's just vanilla.
Yeah, I just don't think we have a big enough amount of it.
Well,
like, the amount of
yours is more interesting than mine. Sorry.
Just more.
Just more.
I was trying to do like a food reference, and I was like, I can't think of spicy. I don't know, more like chocolate, nutty, like.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that crazy. Especially, I don't know, online dating.
You've dated way more than I have.
I have. That is true. But online dating wise, I don't think it's just ever really that successful in the first place, and so especially from the guy
side.
It
just depends on the person.
Yeah.
I have cousins who've had success.
Yeah.
I mean, they've married people they met on Mutual.
Yeah.
My brother met his wife on Mutual, but it's a lot. I feel like.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of weird people. There's a lot of weird guys on there.
See, that's what I think. I think there's more weird guys than there are weird girls.
Like, I had like a picture of me with like a Chick-fil-A milkshake, and he was like, ooh, yummy, yummy. And it's just like, don't say that to me. I don't know you. You're a stranger. And no. And then another guy was like, because they can like leave the comments on your photo. He's like, I'm going to write you sweet, sweet poetry. And I was like, no.
Boy, I don't even like normal poetry.
I don't like poetry to start with, but
that's funny.
I had a screenshots of all these weird things that guys said, but that got deleted in the fit of rage. I know.
Oh my God. So, tell me from the girls' side, do you ever leave comments?
No.
See, that's the thing. I feel like a lot of it comes from the guy side, whereas being on the guy side and being a more like reserved guy, it probably doesn't get as crazy as it does on the girl side. Girls are probably more mild. Less
insane. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I've heard some scary stories with.
I mean, they exist.
They exist, but maybe not in the same quantity as the scary guys. But
it might be easier for the guy to identify she's a psycho.
She's crazy. Alright, what is a first date pet peeve? Like, for me, I hate first dates that go forever. I'm like, it's got to be like an hour or less. If I don't know the person, like a mutual date. Like, I don't like the all day, like, let me take you across the state thing.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's just very funny.
You're like, I take all of my dates on 6+ hours.
Okay, no, the problem is, like, I always go and plan to do just, like, a simple date. Like the first date, and then it ends up typically being like 6 hours long.
Well, I think if it like develops into that, that's fine. But like, I don't know. I had a guy like plan all these things, and I was like, it's like 10:30.
Yeah.
I want to go home.
See, that's the thing. If it's planned out like that, then yeah, that's a little.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a pet peeve, but I hate the whole, like, do I give her a hug? Do I not? Like, the doorstep
The
Yeah.
doorstep is
is
terrible.
just, like,
I hate it.
awkward, and I just overthink it. But it's still just, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know the protocol here, and so I just always follow the girl's lead.
Yeah.
Like, if she's going to go for a hug, okay, I'll get you a hug. If not, just
It's like,
stay by the door.
Yeah. I don't think I take more initiative on that, where it's like, if it was a good date, I'll give you a hug. If it wasn't a good date, I'm just leaving.
Here's the thing, and then I also, like just overthink, like, the whole, like, was it a good date? Do I want to do a second date? And I can't, like, it's so much to, like, I need more time than just, like, in the first date, so I don't want to, like,
That's fair.
do anything to, like, make them think otherwise, or make
I'm
a
of the
comment,
opinion-
like, I don't know.
If you get to the end of the first date and you don't feel like you could hug them, as in, like, you're a friend, I could hug you, then don't even think about a second date.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I don't have any good history of second dates, so.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, that's totally fair.
Ugh.
I feel like dating, like, etiquette is, like, its own thing, too. Like,
Especially now.
it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't keep track of all of this. Like, do you date, or do you text after the date? Like, how long after? Like, should you text if you didn't enjoy it? It's just, like,
Yeah.
it's a lot. The whole, like, doorstep thing, also a lot.
Yeah.
It's just, like, I don't know. I think maybe I'm just a chronic overthinker, too, so.
It's dating. You have to overthink it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I thought of another one. I hate when
I guess I should think about
girls
that.
live in apartment buildings and it's super hard to find a door.
Oh my gosh.
It's like a big complex, and like,
It's the worst.
first of all, you have parking, so you're like trying to find parking, and then it's like front side and back side,
Reach.
and like you have to find the right like number. I've had multiple where I'm just like walking around trying to find it, and I eventually do, but it's always
I hate that so much.
That's
It's the worst.
Yeah. See, I don't go, like, pick up people for dates, but I, like, going to friends' houses and stuff, living in complexes, I always, like, walking with my phone and stuff. I'm like,
yeah.
people are going to think I'm, like, a weirdo, like I'm trying to stalk somebody or
Yeah.
something. It's
No,
the overthinker.
it's true. That's a good one. That's a really good one. That should be brought up more. I don't know if I really have one. I just am not a fan of movies as first dates.
I think it's a good call.
Cause like,
Yeah.
how the freak are you even supposed to get
It's
to
like,
know them?
you
The whole
just-
purpose of this is to sit in silence.
Yeah.
Or even like blind group dates.
Yeah.
Or group dates are just hard in general if you don't know the person, or even just to like try to get to know them better, especially if you're doing things as a group.
Yeah.
Because then it's back to the whole like, do I just talk to my date, or do I participate in like the whole conversation? Do I ask
Yeah.
questions for the whole group? And
I think group dates really are best, as in like
you know, people.
everybody knows everyone.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to have something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend and her husband set me up with one of her husband's coworkers, so it was like a group date. So like the three of them knew each other, but like I knew my friend and her husband
Yeah.
obviously, but like
Still,
it was
that's
just weird.
awkward.
He was a weird dude too, like really weird. I think he was trying to impress me, but he was like, yeah, I have a motorcycle. I'm like, cool, yeah, that's fine. He's like, yeah, I got a dragon tattoo as well. I was like, okay. It's like my dad and we got matching dragon tattoos, and we designed them ourselves.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
do you want to see us, like, you
Dude,
know?
that has the same energy as like
I
a
think I'm
kindergartner.
okay.
God's like, look at my sticker.
Look at my dragon tattoo. Look at my motorcycle.
Oh
That's
man,
funny.
that's bad.
Yeah, it was pretty cringe. And then they're like, do you want to go on a second date with him? I was like, absolutely not.
Only
That's
if
the
he
hard
gets
thing about being
another
set up
dragon
by
tattoo.
people, because
Yeah.
They get so invested
you
in
like
it.
are like stressed because you're like, well, I don't like it was okay, but like they're really excited about it, but I'm not super excited. And
Yeah. I hate getting set up.
Well, I feel like
I kind of like it because then I get a date and I don't have to do work, and then I
Yeah.
can at least keep my stats padded.
But I always wonder when people set me up, it's like, why did you think this person and I would be compatible? Because, like, same friend set me up with this other guy. He was, like, a mega nerd. Like,
oh, man.
Nerds are fine. I like
yeah.
nothing against nerds. But
Yeah.
he was, like, super into, like, what is it? Like, the augmented reality kind of thing.
Oh.
He was, like, telling me all about this, like, for 2 hours. I was just like,
See, that's my thing. If you are at a date and you only talk about one thing during the date, it's a bad date.
Yeah.
You gotta have flow. You gotta
Yeah.
break. You gotta learn everything. And it's not
Oh,
deep.
I learned
Not
everything.
deep.
I learned everything about.
See, that's the thing. It's not
The
deep. You just hit something, you're like, yeah, and then you allow it to go somewhere else. But if you're just knocking on the same thing over and over again, no. Ugh.
Yeah, and then after, I was just, like, thinking, I was like, why did you think this person...
Do you ever get
compatible?
offended by that?
Yes, I was offended.
I don't think I've had those thoughts, because I've been set up quite a bit, and I don't think I've ever been like, oh, why did they set me up with that person? Granted, they haven't been...
You didn't talk
people.
about, like, augmented
No,
reality.
yeah. It's just been like a normal date. Where
Yeah.
just like, nothing's gone anywhere or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I've had a couple times where it's like, really? You okay? Ouch. Is this the level you view me
This
at?
is what you think of me?
Which, no offense to the other person, they're still great people, and most of the ones I have done that are married now, and I am not. So, but
Yeah.
still, it's just like
The plastic
No.
container. It's a
Yeah.
Tupperware theory.
yeah,
Tupperware theory.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
You've not heard about it? I feel like
No.
I've talked to you, at least you, about it. Maybe it was off
Oh.
the podcast. It's so like there's like the square Tupperwares where it's really
Yeah.
hard to find the lids because it can go with multiple, and then there's just like the really random shaped
Yeah.
Tupperware where you're like, yes, that lid is there.
Oh.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense.
So
I think you have
there's
something about it. Okay.
some people, and it's not mine. I heard this from my cousin Allie, so shout out to Allie. I don't know if you're listening, but like the people who are just like a little weird, just don't click.
Yeah.
You're like, how did they find someone?
It's like,
But
oh, that's the Tupperware lid.
whereas a lot of us are just all the square Tupperwares.
That's a good.
I'm a square.
We're all square.
I'm a square.
That's a good way to look at it. I like that though.
Okay, last question.
Okay.
Most memorable dating story or event. It could be positive, it could be negative, whatever you choose.
Ooh. Most memorable?
Thinking hard on this one.
Yeah. Shows you how memorable I am at dating. Man, this is hard.
I feel like this makes me want to do like a study on like dating trauma.
Yeah.
Women versus
It's
men.
not like
Because I feel like
I'm not
if you have,
traumatized by any. It's just I have to pick out of all mine of
oh,
like.
you have so many.
But it's not. I don't know. I don't want to offend anyone who I've gone on dates with who may be listening. But like, they're all kind of at like the same level, so it's like I have to try to be like, which one sticks
Slightly
out?
more.
Yeah. And they're all above the. They're all in the good category. Just disclaimer there. So we don't.
Yeah. Oh, I'd probably have one semi-memorable.
Because you remembered it.
I did remember. It's kind of awkward. Because it involves getting accused of having intercourse.
Oh, I think you've
I
told
think
this.
I've told
Yeah,
that
I've heard
one.
this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We went to the temple and we came back and she cut my hair. It's not like I was going to wear my nice suit and everything while I get my hair cut. So I borrowed some of her clothes that fit and left my clothes in the living room all crumpled up. And then we were not in the living room when we got done because we were cleaning up her room so she could go to bed. And someone else came by, knocked on the door, and then just saw my clothes on the floor. And so then they ran to go find the other roommates to break in and start screaming to see if what was happening.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So it was like a big ordeal in that apartment.
Yeah. And then, yeah, they just came in and were just there, like, folding up her, like, shirts We're like,
And they're like, what are you doing?
yeah, and we're like, what are you talking about?
More innocent.
Yeah. So that was a fun time.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Can't top that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I can.
I went to Walmart on a date once.
Oh. Well, at least you could maybe get some grocery shopping done.
No.
No. What did you do in Walmart?
It was like a first date, and
first date.
yeah, it was supposed to be some sort of like scavenger hunt. I don't remember the details. She had asked me. And so I was just kind of going along with it. It turned out to be not terrible. Like, we just walked, like, did a big lap, but we'd, like, go to the aisles and we'd, like, see something and we'd be like, oh, I have a story about this. So we'd just, like, talk about it. So it was just, like, it was kind of fun, but then we, like, bought ice cream and then ate it in her car in the parking lot. It was just a interesting date. Never has been repeated.
Not your typical.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely not typical.
Memorable.
And I don't know if I was
we're
like
going for it.
We're going for
super interested in the person, like anyways, but it was just first date, so said yes.
That's fair.
So yeah, so it wasn't just like there was fireworks. It was like this is kind of by the end you're just like, okay, we did that.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
That we did.
That's fair. I like it.
Oh.
It's a good time.
That's a good time. Mine, I think I've told you guys this story before. It was back when I worked in Home Depot.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Is this the climb?
The climb.
Yeah.
Have you heard this story?
I think I have it. Remind me.
Okay.
For the listeners.
Yeah,
for the
listeners.
So I used to work at Home Depot. It was my glamour days. And I think that only because I was one of the few normal women that worked at Home Depot, a lot of guys would ask me on dates at like my coworkers. But I also worked at I did shaved ice. My parents owned shaved ice business on 400 North.
Gotcha.
They don't anymore. So if you go there, I can't make claims on the
Oh,
quality.
is it the one with like big outlet?
Okay. That's one.
Okay.
But that has definitely turned me into a shaved ice now. But I also worked there when I was working at Home Depot, and so one of the guys found out that I worked there, and he came and saw me while I was working, and I was doing the shaved ice, and the shaver is like so loud, like you can't hear anything. It's like putting your ear next to a jet engine, like. So he was like talking to me while I was like making his shaved ice, and I gave it to him. He's like, so I'll see you at the end of your shift, right? And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, we're going to go up in the mountains, go climbing. I was like, is that what you were saying? I was just nodding along. He's like, when do you get done? I was like, I don't know why. I feel like I get intimidated, and I just can't, like, I just get in panic mode, and I just, like, respond.
That's fair.
Even though I don't want to. So I told him
fair.
when I was done, and he came after work, and we were driving up the canyon, and my cell phone dies, and as we're going up, I realized that no one knows where I am. Like, I didn't tell anyone what I was doing after work. And I was like, I'm going up with this strange man into the canyon. It's great. And so we get to a spot in the canyon. He pulls over. He gets his
What
climbing.
time of day is this at? Because I'm thinking
This
like
is like-
it's dark, but
it's
I don't
like
think it's that dark.
7.
Okay, so it's still
It's
light
during
outside.
the summer, so it's
Okay.
light outside, but it's getting darker. I think
Yeah.
it's like 8 by the time we get up
Okay.
to the canyon and everything.
Because I was originally predicting it's like midnight or something.
No. And so he gets his gear out, and I have never climbed before at this point. Like, I've done it in the gym in like when I was like 10.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But not at all. And he's like, okay, let's go. And I was like, I don't know what to do with this rope. Like, this is your life. Like, can you give me some more information, please? Like, he's like, oh, just like pull it through and stuff, and like it'll be fine. I was like, okay. And so he starts climbing up, and he just jumps off the wall and falls to like test to see that I know what I'm doing, which I don't because he didn't tell me. And so I go like flying, and I smack into the wall, and so my palms are all cut up, And he's like, well, good thing I did that before I got up too high. I was like, well, you could have told me that you were going to do that. And he's like, he was a lot bigger than me.
And which is not what you want for, like, a belayer.
No. Unless they're experienced, because then I got into climbing more when I was in college, and I could belay someone because I knew what I was doing. But at that point, I had no idea. And he's like, I think I need to, like, tie you down. I was like, what? He's like, I think we need to, like, hold you in place so if I fall, you don't go flying. He's like, I'll be right back. I was just standing there with my bloody hands, and I was just like, what is this? What is happening to me right now? He comes back with a toe chain, and I'm just like, what? And he gets the toe chain, and he wraps it around a tree, and then wraps the other end around my waist, and he's like, okay, that should do it. And I was like,
gosh. Yeah,
here I am,
pulled down
in the canyon, chained to a tree, and no one knows where I am. I'm with this strange man.
Oh, God.
And so he climbs up to the top. We don't have any more incident, thank goodness. He's like, you want to go? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, just kidding. It's getting too dark. So I don't even get to climb. And we pack everything up. It's like 9 o'clock-ish now, so it's getting dark. He's like, you want to go get a milkshake? I was like, no, I want to go home. I'm injured. And he's like, let's go get a milkshake. I was like, ugh. So we went and got milkshakes, and then we drove all the way. It was probably like 30 minutes out to some spot by Smithfield that overlooked the canyon. He's like, started playing like slow jazz, and he's like, isn't this nice? And I was just like, no. I'm just holding my milkshake in my bloody hands. I want to go home.
That's so bad.
That is
Eventually
terrible.
I got home. It was like 11:30, I think.
Gosh.
But yeah, that was probably the craziest time. My mom was very worried. She was very worried. Rightfully so. But that's probably my most memorable.
That's so gross. I hate that so much.
Yeah.
I don't think about that. So don't ever invite someone to go climbing and then not let them climb after they slam their body against the wall.
Not tell them what to do.
Yeah, just if they don't want to go get a milkshake, don't get a milkshake.
Or not listen to the girl. Like that's another.
Don't pressure anyone into going on a date with you.
Yeah, I think he was maybe trying to like show off for me, like show me his climbing skills, but I was like, I don't
understand guys like that.
I'm not gonna be impressed, dude. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, I was like, I just know I'm hurt and I want to go home.
Yeah.
But he was a weird dude. He was like an adult toddler. Like he would like be pouty and stuff. So, needless to say, we did not have a second date.
Good.
That's fair. Very fair. Okay.
All right. The end.
Okay.
Yeah. Well.
No, we just want to thank you, Whitney, for being on with us today. I hope the listeners have enjoyed this very reverse script of getting interviewed as much as we have. Thanks for being on.
We're doing what's happening in life now.
Quick life updates. Do you have any fun life updates?
Big things going to happening.
Yeah.
Well, I'm graduating. Not technically until August, but I'm walking in May. So, hooray. I got my cap and gown, and I just wanted to weep because it's been a long road. So
that's fair.
Yeah. So I'll graduate, and then I'm moving probably the 1st or 2nd of May.
Dang.
Yeah.
Where to?
St. George.
Wait a minute, did you get a job, or are you just moving down there?
Just moving down there.
Okay.
I have applied for jobs down there, but
take the break.
I thought like getting a doctorate would make me very like
marketable.
People are not so much. I think I've submitted like 9 job applications and no one's even contacted me. So
it's rough. But to be honest, sometimes it may take a month to get back to you. That's what happened in mine. Like I've given up on the job, and then they'll be like, hey, we want to talk to you, and I'm like, oh, that's good. I wish we'd done that 2 weeks earlier because I'm interviewing with other companies right now.
Yeah. There are some like postdoc opportunities that people have passed to me. One's in like Nova Scotia, but I'm like, do I want to live in Nova Scotia?
Yeah.
I don't know. So we'll see what happens. But I'm definitely graduating. all that matters.
That's a good life update.
Yeah.
It's a good one. What do you have, Sam?
I just got back from Arkansas.
Nice.
Earlier this week. I was there got flown for a job interview. So, still waiting to hear back. So we'll see. Just, I don't know, ball of emotions and feelings. Some days I'm like, yes, I'll take it. Other days I'm like, no, I don't want to take it. I want them to tell me no.
That's fair.
So we'll just see what's happening. Yeah.
Okay.
Did not too much of Arkansas, unfortunately. I ended up not having a car, so it's mainly my hotel. So
big bummer.
it was very flat, which surprised me. Like, I guess I've never really been in that part of the country. But, like, other places I've gone, everyone's like, it's flat, but then it's more of, like, rolling hills with just trees. You just don't have the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
But, no, this was...
That's flat.
Flat. It was a big, like, farming. It's a big agriculture area.
No, that's fair.
But then there was, like, they just had a massive storm go through last week. And so there were, like, the rivers were overflown. And so there was this, like, field that, honestly, I was driving by and I'm like, that looks like the ocean. Or a lake, at least.
That's crazy.
So... yeah.
That's way crazy.
Yeah. What about you?
Let's see. I went and met my girlfriend's siblings, almost all of them.
That's exciting.
Yeah, got to play with their nieces.
Fun.
Probably the best part.
Nice.
They're so stinking cute. But yeah, so that was fun. That's what I did over the weekend.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And you both have now completed your 20th episode.
20th episode. That's
Happy
great.
20th episode.
Big
Woo! We did it.
Yeah, forgot about that. That's a good call. Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everyone. If you liked this or other episodes, we'd invite you to subscribe, I don't know what you're listening on. Yeah, give us a 5-star rating, share with a friend.
Yep.
Follow us on Instagram at The Sam's Midnight Ramblings.
There's some fun stuff up on
We have
there.
an Instagram now.
It's
We
official.
do.
We're
We need to post more, but
we do.
we had a solid week.
We're doing great these days.
It's a work in progress. We're learning.
No, it's awesome. We're doing great. We may try a remote episode at some point, and if that happens, it will probably be on camera. So we may have a video coming out along with an episode at some point. So just keep a heads up. It'll be fun. You can see what we actually look like if you haven't seen us before, which would be insane. That means you have never met us, and that's great. But yeah.
Thanks for your time. Peace out.